In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Joshua McMurray of Meet Me at the Table Games to talk all about his new game, Monster Mania, that is launching to Kickstarter this Saturday, the 1st of December. So you'll want to hang on until after the Kickstarter Corner so you can find out everything that is awesome about Monster Mania. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Rotunda-Last Man Standing family party game, in which you battle friends and family in 16 minigames to decide a champion. We had the creators of this game on quite some time ago, and you should definitely check it out on the Kickstarter. It goes through Thursday the 6th of December, so somewhere around 11 days by the time you're listening to this. So you should definitely check out Rotunda-Last Man Standing family party game. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also being proudly powered by Purrsident. It's a game of ferocious kitty politics and an all-around good time. They've currently got about just under 7 days to go for you to jump in on this one. I hope they make it to fulfill this Kickstarter, as it's only got a week to go. You can help make it a reality. If you want to find out more about this great game, may I encourage you to check out their update they did on November 21st entitled Podcast, in which they go ahead and give us a great shout out and let you know about the interview we did with them. So definitely check out the update number 2 podcast on Purrsident's page, and then go ahead and show a little love to Purrsident that's on Kickstarter through Sunday the 2nd of December. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Oddbods G0-KARDS. Oddbods G0-KARDS is a smart and quirky card-powered racing party game that's currently on the Kickstarters. They've got awesome meeples, car meeples that is, for the Oddbods. You should definitely check this great game out. They've reached their funding goal, and there's still 17 days to go to get in on the fun of this, as the project goes through Wednesday, the 12th of December. So you should definitely check out Oddbods G0-KARDS.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Game Relief. So glad you could make it. I hope you'll enjoy all these great games that are on Kickstarter, as it does go a little slow leading up to Christmas and January 1, but then we hope to hit it hard. But in the meantime, I hope you'll check out these great games that are on our Kickstarter Corner, and I hope you'll stick around until after to find out all about Monster Mania that's launching on the 1st of December, that has Miniature Market fulfilling the Kickstarter, and this Monster Mania will be at Miniature Market as well. But first, we need to help see it funded through this Kickstarter. So hang on until after these great Kickstarter Corner games, will ya?
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaf's computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leafs.
Perhaps you've heard of Quickstarters on the Kickstart. This is something that they made. They're really quick Kickstarters there's a bit of rules or guidelines, more than anything they're guidelines that somebody who come up with Quickstarter came up with. It says you can follow your own or do your own thing. The main thing is they're supposed to be quick. And we'd like to bring one of these great quick starters to you. It's called Scarabs and Scorpions, the 2nd edition in a tin. This one is coming to you from Tony Ripley, in which you push your luck and take that dice games. They're packaged in a sturdy travel tin. The original game plus new pyramid and solo challenge. This is a fun dice game for 1 to 5 players. It plays in about 10 to 30 minutes. And there's been a print and play reward level added on update number 2. So you can get the print and play files. What I really like about this project, besides the quickness, how quick it's going to be and how limited it is, you will get this project by, get this, Christmas delivery. That's right, USA only, unfortunately. But, what did I say just barely? Christmas delivery. That's right. So, why not pick up Quickstarter Scarabs and Scorpions 2nd edition in a tin for a Christmas gift for your loved ones, friends, and family, especially those that like gaming. Definitely check it out on the Kickstarter. This project only goes through this next Tuesday, the 4th of December, so you better get in on the fun of Scarabs and Scorpions Daring Desert Dice Games. Go check it out right now. Remember to click the links on the show notes so you can show them that you came over from Getting Geeky with Game Relief. Do that on all of our games. Show Game Relief a little love, as well as the creators that we have on the show, as well as the creators we throw on the Kickstarter Corner for you. Another game that's on Kickstarter a short time now is Necrotopia, Handbook to the Apocalypse, Book 1. You may have heard of this game back in May when they were initially on Kickstarter. Well, they're back, and this time they have reached their funding goal. Necrotopia is a pen and paper role-playing game, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it here. Necrotopia is an apocalyptic RPG where you and your friends battle through multiple apocalypses, faced with invasion of evil forces through portals, travel across worlds after you master use of portals, original story and art with unique characters and settings. Uses a D6 game system with move creation that is simple and highly customizable. Create a character in 5 minutes and play a session within an hour. Fun for veteran RPG players and new players alike. And you know what? This project will be on Kickstarter through Wednesday the 5th of December, so definitely check out Necrotopia, Handbook to the Apocalypse, Book 1, and let's keep the progress going on this one. Another great game that's on Kickstarter coming to us from Blue Piper Studio is Glyph Chess, the Magic board game. It's a tactical style board game which can only be played by the most powerful wizards in the universe. It's 2 to 3 player chess with abilities. It looks really fun, and you know what? I sat down with the creators, and you can catch our interview by going and checking out update number 13. It's easily titled as well, called Podcast with Game Relief. So you'll definitely want to check that out, and you can find out more about the game. They did reach their funding goal. They, in fact, surpassed it, and there's still 15 more days to go to get on this one, as this project goes through Monday, the 10th of December. So definitely check out Blue Piper Studios' Glyph Chess, the Magic board game. Another one that's on Kickstarter that will have the creators on the show this coming week is Robogram, the programming card game reloaded. Robogram is a game designed to introduce basic computer coding while taking opponents in epic cyber battles. You'll definitely want to check this one out. And like I said, we're going to have the creator on the show in the coming days. I think it's going to be on Wednesday. But just in case, make sure you subscribe to Getting Geeky with Game Relief so you never miss an episode. It'll pop up on your feed. You can do that on iTunes or any podcast catchers, or you can do it on GameReliefGo.com. So definitely check this out if you want to learn programming, if you want your kids to learn programming, or you just want a fun game. Check out Robogram, the programming card game reloaded on Kickstarter through Saturday the 15th of December. This one launched over the weekend, so if you weren't glued to your computer, maybe you missed it. But you should definitely check out Sentient Games Natural Selection. It's a fun educational board game that is suited for players of all ages. It's a game of dominance, survival, and sentience. And you know what? We're going to have the creator on the show, not this week, but next week. Once again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on this fun interview. But to let you know a little bit more about it, it's a fun educational game that teaches the processes of natural selection in nature. Each player begins as a single-cell organism and competes against each other to adapt and survive natural events. Make decisions on becoming a carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore to determine the way you will try to win the game. You interact with a single deck of cards used by all players. There's only one way to avoid extinction, and that is to be the fittest for survival. So, like I said, or like natural selection actually says, survival of the fittest. This game will be on Kickstarter through the new year, but let's not dilly-dally, shall we? Let's go ahead and check it out and see if we can get this game funded. It'll be on Kickstarter through the 7th of January, but why not go check it out right now, listen to our interview. But if you like it before the interview, there's no need to not back it. Check out Natural Selection from Sentient Games on the Kickstarters currently. Now we join this interview with Josh from Meet Me at the Table Games, already in progress.
Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
The end is near, and the final blood moon has risen. Giant monsters have awoken and are using the world as their battleground. Humanity has created their own monsters to defend the earth. What ensues is mass chaos, destruction, and mania.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but this is a story of Monster Mania. And tonight we're lucky enough to have on the creator mastermind behind this great game, all the way from Meet Me at the Table itself, Joshua McMurray. Is that correct, Joshua? Is that how you fall in line with Monster Mania?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us once again on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. I don't know if people remember or if they've gone back that far, because it looks like it's been a little while since we had you on last time with Frontier, the card game. How you been doing?
Yeah, been great. Yeah, I think it's been, I guess it's almost been 2 years, which is...
Oh, wow. Were you one of our first guests? I can actually look that up while we're talking. It's been that long?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm pretty sure it's been, I think it was at least August of 2017. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's getting there. Yeah, so yeah, wow. And it was Frontier, the card game. Yeah, so I remember playing that. We haven't yet played Monster Mania, but we do have a copy, so we're looking forward to getting that to the table. But yeah, it was episode 47, so it's been just over a year. Just a month over a year. So
gotcha.
Last October, you were on episode 47, and we're now on episode? It's crazy, 286 or something of the podcast. What do you call it? The Kickstarter Corner, where we talk about people's Kickstarter games.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
And you've created another game.
Yes, this one's been a long time in the making.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Now, before we get into that, per se, somebody hasn't gone back and listened to all the episodes or they're new to the podcast. If they are, thank you for joining, people. But they haven't gone back and listened to that episode that we recorded back then. But they're interested to find out, how did you get into playing tabletop board games, Joshua?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when I was younger, I was into the collectible card games, CCGs, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, things of that nature, and just kind of snowballed from there. And, my brother, my family, and we would play, and, I still play to this day, even though I create. So
still with the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, or what collectible card games are you playing these days?
Well, these days I still play Yu-Gi-Oh with my friend. So so still play that. Haven't played much Pokemon. There's just too many different Pokemon out there, I think. So Yu-Gi-Oh is a little bit more grounded, but yeah, still play that.
Well, there you go. What about because you haven't created a collectible card game that I know of yet. What about the other tabletop board games? Are you playing anything else?
Yeah. Forbidden Island, Dominion. I always play that. I play the Resident Evil deck building game as well.
Awesome. So big into deck builders. Me and my wife just sat down and played Star Realms today.
Nice. That's excellent.
Yeah, I love me some deck building games. So I don't remember. I don't think Frontiers, the card game, that wasn't a deck builder, was it?
No, that's just it was a simple draw, reveal type game, collect resources, a little bit of player elimination.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a fun game. I remember we played the prototype of that before you launched it on Kickstarter. Well, maybe during the Kickstarter. I don't remember now, but I
think it was during.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So we went ahead and played it and previewed it on our show, and I really liked it. And now word on the street is you created a game in a completely different genre with monsters. What can you tell us about Monster Mania, Joshua?
Yeah, Monster Mania has been it's been about 4 years in development. I've always loved monster movies, Godzilla, King Kong, things of that nature. And just one day was, you know what? They don't have many monster, big monster card games out there. So, they have like King of Tokyo or King of New York, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, they have one for each. I think there's a King of Tokyo and there's also a King of New York. They have one of each of those.
Yeah. So I, just one of the days I just sat down and started creating and, thinking, oh, what could monsters, throw at each other? What could they, use the environment, to their advantage or be used against them? So just kind of an all out monster war. And then it just turned into a 1 to 6 player card game. So
awesome. So 4 years in the making. Has that all been play testing or?
Yes, a lot of it has. Yes. Yeah. A lot of fine tuning it and getting it, not too many overpowered cards and, things of that nature. So
what are some of the things you've cut out during the play testing, Joshua?
Ooh, there was quite a few. Well, actually, a couple of the things we're pushing to the expansion because we just thought it would be a better fit for an expansion type of game. But one of the things was monster abilities. So we initially had monsters that had, different abilities. They could take health from other monsters or move damage to, from one monster to another. And we just thought that would be, a little too much. The game's already really big. So we decided to push that off. We also had landscapes. So monsters could fight, on an island or, in the Arctic, things of that nature. And then that would affect their health and their statuses as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So you got rid of those things and what fine-tuned it and whatnot. So per se, man, you were to sit down to play Monster Mania. What's my turn going to look like, Josh?
Yeah, so you have quite a bit of actions. It's all simple, but you're going to draw 5 cards from the central deck. You can play monsters, so you can do any number of actions on your turn as your hand allows, basically. So you can play monsters from your hand. You can play environmentals. You have to have a monster in your combat zone in order to use the environmental. And then you could play supports, which kind of give you boosts, and then you can also play counters, which, of course, when your opponent's trying to attack you or deal damage to you, the counters work against the opponent. So you would play those from your hand. And then you can also obviously attack with the monsters. That's the whole point of it. You gain attack points through using the environmentals. And then you can also deal environmental damage as well. So you kind of have to decide, do I want to, deal 15 damage, or do I want to gain attack points and try to deal, a big blow to my opponent? So
awesome. And I can play, depending on my cards, I can play all 5 of them during my turn?
Yes, you can. So it's very take that style. Now, again, you could end up wasting those cards, because if an opponent has an evasion counter card, you waste your attack points on that. So let's say you gain 3 attack points, you use one of the attacks for 3, but your opponent has evasion, they can get rid of that, and that stops your whole strategy right dead in its tracks. But the nice thing too about the game, it has a lot of hand management. So when your turn ends, you'll have no cards if you played all 5, but then at the beginning of your turn, you'll draw 5. And then you can decide at the end of your turn if you want to keep any of those cards. You can also discard your entire hand, or select which ones you want to discard. That way you're kind of building your strategies as you draw the cards.
Okay, so how is it going to affect people like myself? I hear I suffer from analysis paralysis, and my wife always constantly getting a little bit frustrated with me as it takes me forever to take my turns.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to build strategy, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how well my strategies turn out half the time, though, but yeah, I get take a little long sometimes.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's what it is. But once you have a basic idea of the game, you know what combos to play. There are a lot of combos in the game. I mean, there's nearly, I'm not going to say infinite because that's just impossible, but there's a lot of things you can do in the game. So there's a lot of thinking, and you definitely have to play your strategies well. So
awesome. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like an awesome game. Now, when it comes to Monster Mania, what would you say you're most proud of with it, Joshua?
I just think working with everyone, especially Taylor, my artist, Taylor Tate is her name. She's been just amazing, kind of, taking the brunt of all my, demands, saying, hey, I need this changed, or I need this changed, I need this new monster. We're going to put that as a Kickstarter stretch goal and things of that nature. But I'd say the artwork is really what puts it, above anything else. I still remember, I still have the prototype, the original prototype, where there was no artwork. It was just, text. And so that really puts it all together. And of course the play testing too, you have to, my playtester Luke, who's also one of my best friends, and he is like a master of coming up with strategies and finding loopholes. So that's a good thing to have him there. So there's no infinite loop or something that I'm missing. So
awesome. And I'm gonna on my end, I'm gonna say, wow, looking back at your Frontier, the card game, the Kickstarter page and the Kickstarter page for Monster Mania, I know it's not fully developed yet, as when we're recording this, the game is not up yet on Kickstarter, so I know you're still working on that, but looking at 2 different Kickstarter pages, it's like, wow, you've come a long way, at least in my opinion.
Yes, that was a big thing for me. I did all the designing basically for the Frontier page. I should not have been handling that. We need, the page to look professional. We want people, to back the game and know that we're trustworthy, So a lot of that stems from, how the page looks. So Taylor had a lot to do with that. She created all the graphics for that. It just looks outstanding. She even did the video too, the animation, and Luke did the vocal narration. He's very good at doing different voices and things of that nature.
I was about to ask, it didn't sound like Taylor's voice per se.
No, she, we all had an equal part in that for sure. And also my friend AJ as well. he's the consultant. He had a lot to do with looking over the page and kind of making sure that everything looked, perfect, no spelling errors, things of that nature. So just an all-out team effort.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't remember if you had much of a team last time, did you? Or at least they weren't mentioned necessarily.
No, it was me and my artist Ellen, and she wasn't. She was still in school, so she wasn't able to do the graphic design and things of that nature for Frontier. So yeah, it was just me on that, and me doing the shipping on all the games as well. So that was pretty rough. But we have Miniature Market doing the fulfillment for that now, so that's going to take a burden off.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So how did that go down? You're partnering with Miniature Market to deliver.
Yes. So spoke to the owner, and he liked the game. He looked at it. He also knows the artist, Taylor. So once she showed him the game, he's, oh, okay, yeah, we'd love to do the fulfillment for you guys and help get this funded. So that was a huge help to have them on board, and it is a huge help. I've gone to him several times for advice and things of that nature to help out.
Awesome. I wonder if they'll carry it after. Do you know?
Yes. They're gonna have it on their online site and in their physical store, their brick and mortar stores.
Well, that's got to make you feel pretty good. Do they carry Frontier the card game as well?
They do not. Different, like I said, different artist, and I didn't put a barcode on Frontier. I didn't know how far I was going with that game as far as, do I want to put it in stores? Do I want to try to sell it myself? And, I kind of learned a hard lesson with that. So I won't make that mistake again. I'll definitely put a barcode on Monster Mania.
Well, there you go, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, just looking at scrolling through the Kickstarter page and whatnot, it just looks awesome. Now, yeah, I know you said the Miniature Market guy liked it. What about other previews, other people that have played it? What did they think about it, and who did you get to preview your game this time?
Yeah, so I sent out to quite a few people. I have about 13 different reviewers, well, including yourself as well. Logan Chops Reviews just did their solo preview, and then they're doing the multiplayer video. He said he absolutely loved the game. Was super excited about playing it. And I also had Unfiltered Gamer, Michael, review it. He liked it. He posted a YouTube video of it. And also, I haven't gotten reviews back from Undead Viking videos, but they're coming back. And I also had Geeky Hobbies and Board Game Capital. Those reviews came back pretty quick. So I think I have about 4 on the page right now, on the preview page anyways.
So you're just waiting on the slackers like us?
I'm not saying that. No, I mean, the game doesn't launch for another, almost 2 weeks. So, they definitely have time. And if they, give me reviews during the Kickstarter, that's fine too. That still helps promote it. So that's perfectly fine.
Well, there you go. Awesome. So how did that go down? Like finding reviewers, like per se, somebody's listening right now that they have a game idea or they've been developing a game. How did you go about reaching out to the reviewers, if you don't mind us asking?
No, absolutely. It started with research on Kickstarter pages, finding the games that were most successful. I just found which reviewers they were using, reached out to them. Now, a lot of the reviewers, including yourself, again, I trust you all. So I knew, Unfiltered Gamer did the Frontier the card game review. Logan Chops did Frontier the card game. You did that as well. And, I trusted you all to do that again. So that was easy to reach out to you all.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Yeah. But to reach out to new reviewers, you kind of just have to see, how other Kickstarters are doing it. And I even at one point just typed in, tabletop game reviews and see which pages post a lot. So I just went from there.
Cool. There you go. So that's awesome. And you said Logan Chops liked it. You said Michael liked it as well.
Yes. They both really liked it. They love the multiplayer. And now Michael didn't get the chance to play the solo or the co-op mode, but Logan Chops did. He played the solo. He made an entire video on it, and he said he just absolutely loves it. So
oh, good. So you're saying a lot of stuff that I like. I haven't really played solo games, and we're not much of co-op. So you're saying there is a take that game. So it sounded like there's a take that game. So me and my family can go at each other instead of just playing co-op.
Yes. There is just a standard free for all. That's actually the main game mode. Is the standard free for all, which you can play up to 6 players, 2 to 6 players on that.
Oh, good. That'll be good. Yeah, like I said, we don't really care for co-ops that much.
Yeah, I have to say though, and I mean, obviously I'm boasting for my own game, but the co-op is really well done. It's basically you can do 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, and it really changes the strategies of the game drastically. So you really have to use a lot of strategy whenever you're playing the co-op.
Oh, cool. We'll have to check that as well. Sometimes my son's always wants to be on my team. I don't know why he picks me, though, because I usually end up losing games, but he can beat me or whatnot. But he always wants to be on my team, so that'll be good, too. We'll have to try that way as well.
Oh, yeah. He trusts you. I don't blame.
Awesome. I think more than anything, he's worried about losing, but he usually picks the wrong team if he ends up being on my team, because he usually ends up beating me. But no, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, though.
So awesome. So, per say somebody, I don't know why they wouldn't have, maybe they're driving there, but they haven't jumped over to the Kickstarter page while they're listening, or the game's not quite released yet, depending on when this episode comes out. But they like what they've heard or whatnot, or they've gone and checked out the reviews from some of those people you talked of, Logan Chop's reviews, if that's online yet, or Michael Wright, the Unfiltered Gamer. How much is it going to put them back? How much will it cost them to get a copy of Monster Mania for themselves?
So it's the base pledge is $50, and what comes with that is free U.S. shipping. So you don't that covers all the costs of shipping. You don't have to worry about that. You're going to get your name in the rule book. You're going to get a bunch of things. You're going to get the soundtrack. The print and play PDF, you'll get that before Christmas. So if you want to try out the game, you can download the print and play. Even if you back out of your pledge, you'll still get the print and play. So yeah, there's just a lot. So that's the base $50. Then there's the $99 with free US shipping as well, and that will come with the Monster Mania Origins comic series, which is going to be written by either myself or I have a writer who writes comic books, and he's gonna take on that. And then there's also an Art of Monster Mania book that'll be a hardcover book that'll come with that pledge as well.
Awesome. And I can't say anything about the components yet because I unfortunately haven't cracked the shrink wrap. But when I got the box, just looking at the box, I know it's a prototype and everything, but it looks like an amazing game.
Yes. So the box will be the exact same size. That's the hope anyways. We already got a quote from our manufacturer for those exact dimensions. We're trying to keep it exactly as is. When we sent to reviewers, we wanted to look as closely as it will to the final version. So, but as far as components go, you're getting quite a bit. You're going to get a 40+ page rule book. You're going to get 142 tokens, 216 cards. 6 of those cards are instruction cards. And then you're going to get 6 neoprene playmats. So not the board ones. Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll find out when I open it. But I probably didn't get the neoprene mats in mine, did I?
You did not. No, you have the prototype version, which is just the.
I guess I'll have to back Monster Mania on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yes, I certainly hope so.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just looking at it, it looks really cool. And then me and my family, we're a sucker for the neoprene mats for sure.
Yes, that is. We did not want to have just the standard flat boards. We wanted the actual neoprene, nice quality. And that just comes with the game. That's not a stretch goal. That's not. We feel the game is perfect as is, and we're giving you the top component quality that we can, because that's what we think should happen.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And so I imagine everybody gets, you said there's 6 of them, so every player gets to use one of the neoprene mats as a player board or something?
Yes, absolutely. And you can also use them in the co-op mode. You can set up your opponent's monsters as our. Did I say co-op? I meant solo mode. Sorry. In the solo mode, yeah, you can use that and face off against basically the AI, or however you want to call it, against the deck, so to speak.
Awesome. Yeah, it just sounds fun and awesome. So they don't overpromise and underdeliver. If somebody goes ahead and they take a chance on Monster Mania, which I believe will be on Kickstarter from the 1st of December through the 30th of December. Is that right?
That 31st. That's correct.
31st. Yeah, that one day we're not. So they take a chance on it and they back it. So you don't overpromise and underdeliver. When would they anticipate getting their own copy of Monster Mania so they can add it to their collection?
We are hoping for June. I think that's what we put on there. That seems to be the most realistic. As soon as there's a whole process with Kickstarter that, it takes about a month to actually receive the funds. And then you have to, pay the manufacturer, which they in turn create the game, which that's a whole, that could take upwards of 3 months to even do that. Then the shipping, it could take a month to get here. It's from China. So, it's a whole thing. So we're hoping June, but if players become too impatient or pledgers become too impatient, they will have the print and play PDF. So that comes with it. It's just a demo, but it will be sufficient enough for them.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. And then also, you said about the comic book. Will that be coming around the same time, or?
Yes. So that will also be worked on as soon as the funds do clear on that. Part of that is helping pay for the comic and the art of book as well. So both of those things will be worked on as the manufacturing is going on and all that.
Okay, awesome. And that's not all they get. You said they get the print and play, and so they'll get the comic book, they'll get the game. Plus, I want to say there's a soundtrack. I listened to a little bit about it, but what can you tell us about the soundtrack of Monster Mania, Joshua?
Yes, so the soundtrack is actually composed by me. I also I play the piano and I really wanted to create like an epic kind of sound for the game as well. I don't really see a lot of games, at least tabletop games, that do that. So each monster has their own theme song. So when you play your monster, you can play, this is Behemoth's theme song, and you can kind of play that to make it more epic. And even the solo objectives and the different game variants, they all have a theme. So when you're playing, you can kind of have that on in the background. The songs aren't too loud. We purposefully did that so people can still interact and talk with one another. But that it'll be there, and it makes the battles really epic. We play tested a lot with the music, and it flows really well.
So you talk of everybody getting their soundtrack, and it's a 6-player game. Does that mean there's 6 monsters to choose from, or how's that work?
Yes. So that's it with the variants. So if you're playing the normal mode, each player will start with 1 monster. So you'll take all 14. Technically, there are 18 with the stretch goals. So you received the stretch goal monsters. Hopefully, we actually reach the goals for those and include those in the game. But those will be shuffled together. Each player gets a random monster to start. And then the game begins that way. The same type of thing with the co-op mode and all of the other variants. There's also 2 other ones where you could start with 2 of each monster or 3 of each monster, fill up your entire combat zone, and the battles are just really hectic and they go really fast, but they're really fun.
How does the battle go down? Am I rolling dice? Am I playing powers on my cards? How's the battle go down, Joshua?
So a basic rundown of how the battle goes. So let's say I have my monster to start the game. So on my first turn, I cannot deal any damage to anyone. Okay, so turn is going to pass, and then when the first player's turn begins again, then the action can begin. And what's going to happen is it all relies on your attack points, your environmentals that you have, and your supports. So whenever you're gaining attack points, you're going to be dealing damage with those attacks. So as an example, Behemoth has an attack, 2 attack points, deals 10 damage. So to gain those 2 attack points, you're going to have to play an environmental that obviously gives you attack points. So let's say I play 2 taxi cabs. 2 taxi cabs gives me 2 attack points. I can then attack you by just declaring it, and I can do that in any order I want. So I can attack, play a support, play a counter. You can do these in any order. That ups the strategy in that sense, and kind of gives you a whole other dynamic to play. But that's the basic thing, and then you can also deal environmental damage outright. So some of the cards will say, oh, you can deal 15 damage, 15 environmental damage, or you can gain 2 attack points. It gives you choices. So there's a lot of multi-use cards too.
Okay, awesome. And it's probably hard to pick in your favorite child or whatnot, but if you had to narrow it down, what would you say your favorite monster is, and what can you tell us about him, Joshua?
I would say my favorite is Behemoth, because it was the first monster that I ever came up with. It actually, a lot of the monsters are paying tribute to movie monsters. So that one's obviously Mothra. So, and all the names have very punny type things. Like the ant is called Giant, and then there's, XL Terrestrial, and there's Bear Maximum, and just a whole bunch. And also Primeval is really cool. I really like dinosaurs, so that's just a big T-Rex. But Behemoth, I would say, is probably my favorite. That's kind of the name that started everything.
Awesome. And how will I know when I won the game, if I do win the game? Is it the last monster standing?
So it's interesting how the game plays. So when I defeat a monster, I'm going to gain a prize point. So that's one of the token choices. There are 4 total token choices in the game, and one of those is the prize point. So when I defeat your monster, I gain a prize point. The first player to 5 prize points, or first team to 5 prize points, wins the game.
And what about the solo? Am I going for the prize points as well if I play the solo version?
No, that completely changes the game. Yeah, that's you're actually competing. You're doing different objectives. So one of them, since I just saw this one, is called the Exterminator. And essentially, you play Humongous, who is the human. He's like a big human monster. And then you try to squash all the different bugs. So you try to kill all the bugs. And then once you do that, you win the game. So it's based on defeating the monsters, not gaining the prize points in that sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds really cool. That's awesome. Now, we don't want to keep you all night, but mine is coming there to Missouri to stalk you personally. How would people go about keeping up with you and any kind of games or anything you have coming out of Meet Me at the Table games or gaming?
Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook. We're just search under Meet Me at the Table games. We pop right up. You can join our event page. We have a day 1 Monster Mania Kickstarter launch page that we got about 476 people so far saying that they're going to be pledging on the game. But you can show your support there. You can also go to www.monstermaniagame.com, and that is where you can sign up for our newsletter. And you can also find more information on all the different monsters and cards.
Okay, and if you give me the links, I'll go ahead and make sure those are all in the show notes so they can just go ahead and click on over and see what's going on with that. Now, yeah, like I said, we don't want to keep you all night, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf with us to talk all about Monster Mania from Meet Me at the Table games that will be on Kickstarter through the 31st of December. We really appreciate it, Joshua.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Gamerleaf levels up.
Whether you're listening to this after the game is launched in your email update or on the podcast in your podcast catcher, I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did and you saw anything good or lovely, if you saw anything great about the game and it sounded good to you, definitely jump on over, check out the Kickstarter page, and let's show a little bit of support to Josh. Let's see if we can get him funded. If this is before the Kickstarter has launched and you're listening, make sure you click up on the top left-hand corner, I believe it is. Go ahead and notify me upon launch. That way they'll send you an email when this launches. If this is already launched, go ahead and click the back me button and let's show some support to Josh. This game sounds awesome. But now it's our least favorite time, your least favorite time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with yours. Make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.